Novocaine is what I lovingly call a gimmick movie. And now, I can hear you wondering, what's a gimmick movie? But let's not jump the gun. We don't even know what Novacaine's about yet.
So, what's your deal?
My deal? I'm just a regular guy with a regular job, but I've got this condition where I don't feel pain.
It's a mostly generic action movie about a nobody fighting to get back something he lost. Not unlike John Wick if Mr. Wick was a loser that didn't want to come out of his house. Whether it's a stolen dog or a stolen girl, these types of action movies are all too common, making it harder and harder for them to truly stand out. Once you've seen one Jason Statham movie, you've seen most Jason Statham movies.
Well, there's a first time for everything. I have to know if you're wearing a wire.
You order room service?
I look like I'd carry a pencil. I know what's at stake, and I know how expendable we are. The only way to get smarter is by playing a smarter opponent.
That's where a gimmick comes in. So what is a gimmick when applied to a film? It's usually something that you haven't seen before put on top of something kind of generic and cliche. Here's some examples. Inception is a simple heist movie with the gimmick that it's set in a dream. Rear Window is a mystery crime film where the main character can't leave his apartment. And Heart Eyes is a slasher set on Valentine's Day. Gimmick films are everywhere, giving the most basic premises the boost they need. This is where Novocaine comes in. Again, it's a generic action film about an introvert that finds his soulmate only for her to be taken hostage, sending him on a blood-soaked quest to get her back. The gimmick being, he can't feel pain. No matter how many times he gets hit,
You ever fired a gun before?
shot,
What the f is that?
or stabbed, he doesn't feel it.
Oh, sorry. It's fine.
So many gimmick films end up falling short of their potential because they don't take full advantage of their gimmick. Look at Hard Eyes from 2025. It's a generic slasher film featuring a crazed lunatic cutting people up. Not unlike basically any horror movie from the 80s. Who the killer is doesn't exactly matter, but there is a mystery in Hard Eyes, and the gimmick is that it's set on Valentine's Day. Pretty decent gimmick, but where it falls short is in its execution. If you're going to set your film on Valentine's Day, you best be taking advantage of the holiday. Have the killer cut throats with Valentine's cards. Use giant hearts to crush couples. Go wild! It's the thing your film is built on, so use it. However, the majority of the film is in blue and orange locations that have little to do with Valentine's Day. A police station, a merry-go-round, an apartment, etc. And to add insult to injury, the killer uses a knife to kill people. That's it. Just a big knife. Where'd the gimmick go? It got lost.
Happy Valentine's Day.
Happy V-Day!
Get killed, all right? What was...
Why would he say that?
If you're going to make a generic film centered around a gimmick, think of every possible way you can use that gimmick. From the very start of Novocaine, it's pretty clear the filmmakers did just that. Opening with Jack Quaid moving around his house, getting ready for work. In every room and around every corner are tennis balls, stopping him from hurting himself unwittingly on the edge of a counter. Our brains do a great job of programming us to avoid pain after pain has been inflicted on us. I mean, if you eat some bad sushi and end up getting horribly sick and throwing up and having diarrhea and all the horrible things, you're probably not going to eat sushi, at least for a little while, to avoid that pain. Now, in the absence of such pain, your brain might not even view something like a tabletop corner or some bad sushi as a threat anymore. Thus, our main character's safety precautions. Not only is Novocaine using the gimmick to inform the action, which we'll get to, but it's also using it to inform the character. Nate is terrified of the world around him. He's scared of hurting himself at home, driving far behind people to not get into an accident, and even avoiding pie because he could bite off his own tongue and not know.
Would you like some pie?
Massive quantities and a glass of water, sweetheart. My socks are on fire.
He's literally scared of everything because he fears what might happen. Enter a beautiful cashier at his bank who shows him the world isn't so scary if you have someone that cares about you. She helps him overcome his fears of pie by being there for him, and even his fear of pain by being kidnapped, allowing him to live out a superhero fantasy and get her back. And by the end, they, very fittingly, have saved each other. Nate is saved from his insecurities, and Sherry from a life that she hates living. A surprisingly touching romance in a film about a guy that takes a morning star to the back and acts like it's more of an inconvenience than anything else.
What the f is that?
Bringing us to the action, the central part of any action film, obviously, which again, it feels like the filmmaker sat down and made a conscious effort to come up with as many ways as possible to torture our main character. They shoot him, plunge his hand into a deep fryer, punch glass into his knuckles, shoot him with a crossbow, pull his fingernails off, and even snap his bone out of his body and then use the bone to murder someone. When your character can't feel pain, introducing all these different ways of harming him are a hilarious way to show that he can't, in fact, feel pain. For me, I know the pain of a nail getting torn off of my body. I've had a pool door smash into my toenail and rip it clean off. It was not nice. I did not enjoy it. I couldn't put on socks for 2 weeks without immense pain. So when I see a fingernail getting torn off in a movie like this, I squirm around in my seat a little bit. It brilliantly uses the shared experience of pain we all know to make the film way funnier. Him faking his reaction to pain is funny when we know what that pain feels like and can see right through him.
No, stop it.
And they just ramp up the torture as it goes along. That is how you take full advantage of a gimmick. So the next time you're watching a film or creating a piece of art with a gimmick inside it, keep in mind how you can take full advantage of it, from informing the characters to making the story and cliches more interesting because it's something different.